But Austin Riley was the guy that I told you was the guy I was focusing on in spring training. He's the guy I wanted to see the most. This is a guy that I think at the bottom of the order for the time being can perform and can perform well, and I hope this is the start of that throughout the year. See, his average is up, his on base is up, his slugging is up. Oh, and by the way, he's already topped his homers from last year in about 13 less games. So Riley's recent success has been very exciting for a lot of people. A lot of people are coming around to this guy, and I'm very happy about that. But it's important to realize this is the benefit of trusting the process and trusting the development of young players. Riley's the first of many, just like Acuna was the first of many to come through. Contreras might be the next one. This includes all positions, including pitching as well. The Braves have a lot of talent, but it's important that you give them a chance.
Hello, baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Welcome in On Deck. I'm Tyler Redmond. As always, thank you so much for checking out the channel. I do appreciate it. While you're here, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be up to date with everything going on here at On Deck and, of course, with the Atlanta Braves. Now, the 2021 regular season is officially over. The stats are in, and the postseason is on the way. Of course, it kicks off tonight between the Yankees and Red Sox in the first wild card game, but for the Braves, it will kick off on Friday versus the Milwaukee Brewers. And yes, we will have a season preview on the channel here, so make sure you are subscribed and you got the bell hit for notifications so that you know when that hits. It will be over the next couple of days. I hope you're ready for it, and I hope you're ready for the series against Milwaukee. But for right now, let's put the postseason to the side for a second, because I wanted to talk about the MVP conversation, because I don't think it's being focused on hardly at all by Braves country, and rightfully so. There's not really a Brave in the hunt right now. It's being led by Fernando Tatis Jr., Bryce Harper, Max Muncy, and Juan Soto. And look, all these guys have reasons to be considered. But our best contender for the award is surprisingly not Freddie Freeman. I wouldn't say, and I don't think you would either. I think if you had a general consensus of Braves country, they would tell you that Austin Riley, if there was a contender on the Braves, it would be Austin Riley. It's been his year. And what a year it's been. A .303 batting average, a .367 on-base percentage, 107 RBIs, 33 homers, 179 hits, 91 of those with 2 strikes. The guy's been as consistent as they come throughout the season. And look, I think this is by far his breakout year, obviously, but I think this is what will become a typical year for Austin Riley. You know, once he retires, when you look at the back of his baseball card, most of the seasons are going to look something like this. I really think so. I think he's finally turned a corner. And look, you can chop up his improvements to a lot of things. Coaching, but I think it's ultimately time put in. I really do. I think the fact that he's been given time to develop at the major league level is the best thing for him. Remember, experience is the best experience, much less at the major league level. So, again, I think it's been a great year for him, but I also think he's being overlooked a bit in the MVP conversation. So let's talk about it. Let's compare him to the front runners that I just mentioned: Tatis, Harper, Muncy, and Soto. What you're seeing here is 4 of those front runners, according to betting odds from various sources, plus Austin Riley. So let me be clear, Austin Riley is not a front runner. In fact, he's not even close. If you were to take a look at the odds for a second, Austin is at the bottom of the barrel, even behind Freddie Freeman, after he was voted Brave of the Year by the Atlanta chapter of the Baseball Writers Association. So, again, I think that's a bit ridiculous that he's being this overlooked. But if you take another look at the stats, compared to the front runners, Austin leads in RBIs. He's 4th in homers above Soto, and is 2nd in batting average. He certainly has an argument for this award. And by the way, if you're a believer that an MVP has to go to the postseason, the top 3 frontrunners would be eliminated. Now, personally, I'm not really a believer in that. But a lot of credit for the Braves making it to the playoffs does belong to Austin Riley. And even though I don't think he'll win the MVP, I do think he deserves another look here. There's reasons that he's being overlooked, one being that he doesn't bring a lot of attention to himself. Ironically, he reminds me a lot of another MVP candidate that never gets enough attention year to year, and that's Paul Goldschmidt. Austin has had a year that nobody really saw coming. If there was such thing as a Most Improved award, Riley would be a shoo-in. Even I couldn't have predicted him going 100 RBIs, hitting .303, and having 33 homers. I just didn't see it coming. It's funny, Foolish Baseball and I had a back and forth on Twitter not too long ago at the beginning of the season after the video I did titled Credit Where It's Due. And he didn't even think Riley would hit 300. So I think the stride that Riley has taken this season is the true story here. Or maybe it's the fact that he may win an MVP in the future. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be rewarded with an MVP trophy this season. And I'm okay with that. but he shouldn't be so easily dismissed as he's been so far. And I wanted to add this for a second. This has no impact as to who should win the MVP, but it does have an impact when it comes to a team building perspective. We got to talk about the money here, because that is a steep difference between Austin Riley and the rest of these guys. And I know you're tired of me talking about Moneyball, but this is just ridiculous. Look at the dollar amounts on the rest of these guys. The difference between Austin Riley and Max Muncy or even Juan Soto is substantial. But the difference between pay between Bryce Harper and Austin Riley is astronomical. I did the math. Harper's pay this season is 42 times Austin Riley's paycheck. And yes, there's a lot more that goes into this than just performance this season. Harper is having what could very well be and should be a Hall of Fame career. But how much did that extra $24.5 million get the Phillies in 2021? A slightly better batting average, a big advantage in the on-base percentage, and 2 more homers. All in all, less runs batted in. It's hard to compare the two. They play 2 different positions, but when it comes to production at the plate, I don't see why anyone gets paid this kind of money that Harper's being paid at the moment. And it's not so much a knock on Harper's contract as much as it is to show you just how economical Austin Riley's contract truly is. Not that you didn't know that. Of course, he is young. He's eventually going to get that payday that everyone in Major League Baseball craves. But for right now, when it comes to a most valuable player, in terms of bang for your buck, there is no one more valuable than Austin Riley in 2021. You need another stat to prove it? How about WAR? Out of the front runners that we've been talking about, Riley ranks 3rd, above Harper, and yet he's paid $500,000 plus some change. That's Moneyball, and the Braves are killing it right now. Again, I don't think Austin Riley will win the National League MVP in 2021. But to me, right now, there is no more valuable player than Austin Riley. Now that's it for today, guys. Make sure you stay tuned. The Braves, of course, again, taking on the Brewers Friday to start off their postseason, the National League Division Series. Hopefully we'll make it past them, maybe make it to a World Series so that Austin Riley can win World Series MVP in 2021. With that out of the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time right here at On Deck.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.